Hello and welcome, this is Silverrocks, and on today's episode we are going to be making the Overwatch Reinhardt's rocket armor. Like always, if you like this and you want to get it for yourself, go to my Patreon at patreon.com/silverrockscraft. With only a $2 subscription, you are able to get this and every other project I have done in the past. Also, if you want to get regular updates on my videos, subscribe to my channel. With that said, let's get started on the video. I've been doing a bit of research on Reinhardt hammer. There's a few pieces of interest that I have to do. One of them is the main body itself. That's going to be the largest piece of this. The second one is the little decor pieces around the hammer head and the cap that's going to go on the heating head. This is pretty much where the replacement heating head is. The other one is the top indent is going to have an extra detail where we are going to add a cylinder shape to it. This shouldn't be complicated at all. There's going to be the guard for the rockets. The rockets themselves are composed of a few different pieces. As you can see, there are the individual thruster heads. All of them are going to be individual. There's going to be this connecting piece in the middle. That is a solid piece. As you can see, this is completely solid in the middle, so this is going to be just one piece. There's going to be the rocket bodies. That's going to be a simple build. There are the injection hoses that's going to inject what I would assume would be the rocket fuel. There's going to be the inside body that is going to support the rockets against the heating head. There is the connection piece between the handle and the rockets themselves. That's going to be this piece right here. Obviously that's the handle and the decor pieces for the handle. So this isn't that complicated of a build. To start off, let's add a circle to this. Going into edit mode, deleting the circle and adding it again. I'm doing this so I can keep editing this quite easily. This is set to 30 vertices. This is original set to 32. I made it to 30 because this allows me to get the perfect alignment between all the pieces I want. I'm going to extrude it upward like this, so it's on the edge of the heating head. I'm going to pull it to the front here. I'm actually going to need to alter the scale for this. This is the right one, so let's increase the scale a little bit. Oops. Okay, which one is the scale? This one is the scale. Pull it downward. And okay, that's pretty much what I want right there. Extrude this, so this makes pretty much the outside loop of here. This looks like it's going forward. That's just a perspective view. This is flat. Make sure it gets to the edge. Extrude it again. Going into front view. As you can see, the bevel here is actually quite a small one, so this is just fine. I'm going to extrude it again, and I'm going to extrude it to the base of the indent. Sorry, a little bit to the middle of the indent, because as you can see right here, the cut is going to go into the main body is not all the way through. It pretty much ends right here. And this is just a flap that goes on front of the heating head. So the other part is extrude this and extrude it all the way to the bottom right here. As you can see, where the body that's going to attach the rockets attached to the main head. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to need to align this an edge loop back here with the one on the front. This is so that when, for example, like coming out here and cut these two vertices, the faces that I'm going to form by joining these are completely aligned, and that's what we want. Since we are here, we are going to start deleting everything we don't need. I'm going to add a edge loop right here, right there, and cut this off. This is so I can add a mirror modifier to this in the X and Y axis. okay, in the Z axis, so that I only had to work on 1/4 of the hammerhead and not the whole thing. This is fine. So what I'm going to do is then grab this right here, extrude it all the way to the middle, make sure you have clipping turned on. Sorry about that. What clipping will do is it will make sure that any vertices from the opposite mirrored face in contact with each other will merge, and that's exactly what we need. Now in the front part I'm doing here is adding triangles to this. This is actually not a problem. Usually you want to avoid creating triangles. What you usually want to do is create squares, as they are much easier to work with and they don't deform your mesh as much. But right here it's not a problem, as this is a completely flat surface, and when exporting this into Pepakura Viewer Designer, this shouldn't be much of a problem. The other thing is I will want to add a edge loop right there, so that there is an exact number of vertices, so that I only get squares here. Let's just select the top ones and press F until everything is filled, and this is the result. Now I'm going to apply this so that I can do this right here, merge at center, oops, merge at center, there we go. I'm actually going to redo the front one. The reason why I'm doing this is when exporting into a Pepakura Designer, you want to make sure that all the faces that you have are smaller than the size of paper you are using. If, for example, I did it like I did originally, this might be enough for a sheet of paper. The problem is it's going to take so much space that it's not feasible to make it this way, so I'm pretty much just cutting this enough like that. For some reason this is here, I don't like that here. And there we go. The front face is done. Now what I'm going to need to do is I'm actually going to go ahead and create the indents, but I'm going to create the top indent first, because as you can see there's a lot of detail that I'm going to need to carve out of this piece. So to do that, of course, to select it, make sure that everything is rotated around this vertices right here, and I'm going to add a cube. Going to add a cube to this. Going into edit mode. Add a loop right there. Pulling these down and this up. Oops, I should have selected the entire face. And that's pretty much it. Now what I need to do here, as you can see, these normally end in this separation, but this one goes back some even more. I need to actually create the shape of it right now. Creating the shape is easy. As you can see, where the cut ends, I am actually going to put it this edge somewhere in front of it and extrude it again, so that I can work on the form itself. There we go. I'm gonna pull this back now. Actually, I'm gonna make sure that this is aligned like this. I'm gonna pull this back right over here. This should be fine right here. Yeah, there you go. Now when it comes to this, it has to extrude slightly downward, and this has to go inward like this, and that creates the basic form of the details on all the side right here. This should be fine. I'm going to have to extrude this again, and this goes down like this, right to there. Make sure that this follows the contours right here. And now I am going to need to add this cylinder shape. Going on to the back, selecting these vertices, cursor to the selected, making sure it's right there. Add a circle and align it to view, and this time I'm not going to go with so many, 12 maybe. Yeah, 12 is fine. Something you have to make sure of is you always want to work with round numbers, so that when you go into making a mirror after this, you don't have to add an extra vertices on a surface to make sure that you have equal number of vertices on each side. Now with that there, I'm going to bring it forward. Okay, this is pretty much the center of this, so I'm going to put the center right there. You can see that majority of this is hidden behind this giant card. This isn't a problem. What I did is I pressed F to create a face. This face is not going to be permanent. Only that I made the face is when I extrude this, it extrudes along the faces that I currently have. This makes it much easier for me to work with. I'm going to select the face again, extrude it, shrink it down. Now I'm going to shrink it out to the side of this thing, extrude it again, extrude it again, oops, and sorry, not shrink it down, scale it down, and that leaves that face right there. That is pretty much what you see in the background. What I now need to do is extrude this forward until it goes completely inside both the hammer, the striking head, the hammer head, and this piece. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to cut this piece so that it fits over the. I don't know what this piece would actually be on the hammer. Probably just a fuel cell or something. But I'm going to have to cut this right now. So I'm going to add this. I don't need it right now. Go into this view. I'm going to pull this, oops. I'm going to hide this for now, and I'm going to pull this back some, Shift H to bring it back up, and that's where I want it. Select these two, press Ctrl E and Edge Slide. That allows me to bring it down like this. Again, the same thing again, Edge Slide. I'm going to bring it down as close to the cylinder as possible. I don't think I can do that. No, I can't do that in one single vertex. See? Well, I should be able to, but it doesn't matter. Let's see if I can add. There we go. I wanted to add an edge loop right here. This is going to help me with this, and when I'm exporting it into Pepakura. Once again, Ctrl E, Edge Slide. I'm going to bring this forward. Something you want to make sure is you always want to leave a bit of a space between everything you are working with. That is because when you are actually building this out of paper, what tends to happen is you don't have as much clearance as it should have in the 3D model, so you want to make sure that everything is some more space between itself. Okay, as you can see, now I'm going to go into the mirror mode, so I don't have to do all of that the second time. In this case, I only need to mirror it in one plane. I actually forgot what I was going to say there. I'm going to finish this. As right here I have a triangle. This isn't a problem as this is a completely flat face, so Pepakura should not think so badly of that. The same thing right here, this shouldn't be a problem. What I want to do now is actually bring this back slightly so that it clears the cylinder. Control L and H to hide that, and just delete the entire thing right here. There we go. And for some reason this face is not correct. Okay, so, what happened here? Yeah, as you can see right there, this can't happen, otherwise Pepakura Designer is not going to like this. He's going to think that this should be several faces, or he's going to think that this should be cut to where it isn't, and you won't be able to do this, right? So I'm going to delete this edge. I'm going to connect these two right here and these right here. Oops. Okay, this should be fine. Select all of these. Actually, don't select them, press Alt H to bring this back. Select these, and there's a problem right here, so I'm going to pull this back, pull this down. I'm going to actually try to line all of these up correctly. Okay, that should be fine. I didn't like clipping turning on, make sure that's turned on. What I did that since this was over the edge right here, I will have to create one up and one down, and that's going to complicate the building process. So to make it simpler, all I'm going to do is extrude this all the way to the bottom right here. Actually going to extrude it forward. I'm going to delete this vertex, not the edge, the vertices. Hide this once again, just I don't need it now. Turn off the mirror, the visible mirror mode, so I can work on this. There's one, two vertices right here, so I'm going to add two edge loops right there. That should be fine. These two are going to connect, but as you can see there is one extra here, so add another one. And there we go, this is fine. This should work just fine. I'm going to create something, alter something here. No, this is, let me see like this. No, this, scale it on the y-axis, press, god damn it, scale it on the y-axis, press 0 and enter. Okay, that should have aligned it perfectly. Turn on the viewing mode again, and this is what we have. Alt H to bring it back, Control N to fix the normals. Yeah, this isn't clean. I have to make sure that that isn't touching, because if I actually do something like this, remove doubles and those are touching, it will merge them together, and obviously you don't want that. So Alt H to bring it the other one back. Going into edit mode right here, we are going to need to carve the shape right here. This shouldn't be much of a problem. I'm actually going to go into this, delete this side. Since early I actually applied the mirror mode, I have to delete the faces again and apply it again. So what I want here is to create the shape of my cylinder. You don't want to go all the way at once. and something you're going to have to do is you're going to have to fix all of these. With this face, you can't export this face into a Pepakura Designer, as this will merge these two corners right here into one single face, and it will leave the back face completed, so it's going to be a mess, so don't leave it. Now I'm going to have to create all of this. And there we go. So now hide that, bring this back, and as you can see exactly what the problem is going to be. I'm going to need to create the cut right here, so I'm actually going to bring the other one back. And what do I need? I actually only needed to go to that surface right there. There is another process I can use to make this. Sorry for the noise. That there is another process I can use, but I don't know how well it will work with this, but I'm going to try it anyway. So let's, yes, I remove all the vertices, exit edit mode, and I'm going to add a volume modifier to this. Now the name of this one is supposedly going to be cube, right? Yeah, this is going to be cube, and this is circle. So with the circle, select an object cube. This is the bevel modifier. Instead of interception, select difference, I would believe. Okay, it is difference, since it is carving the shape of the circle into it. So you always have to exit the edit mode and apply this. And there's a problem, it actually merged them, so I don't want that. Interception, no, difference, union. Okay, it worked this time. There is a problem, I don't know what it is. Okay, fucking hell, and now it merged these together. See, there is a problem right here. It's easy to fix, but it's still a problem, as a majority of times it either merges the different meshes together, or it just cuts one of them, and it really doesn't matter which option I choose. Yeah, this is just one of those things I don't actually understand yet. What I do understand is this is now cut. Now the thing is, as you can see, these cuts aren't actually what we need. We need to make sure that it's either a triangle or a square. For example, this is actually quite easy to fix. I'm just using the cut key to make several cuts. And I'm either turning, I am either turning these into squares or into what's the word, triangles. Now there's a thing here. This face can go just as it is, as the cylinder is going to go against this part. If I bring it back, go into seeing through this, as you can see, it ends right here. So this, if I select this edge right here, deselect that, as you can see, this is where the cylinder is going to go back. What I'm probably going to do is I'm going to work on this a little bit, trying to create some space between these, or I'm just going to go into the cylinder and shrink the cylinder down. It's probably easier to do it that way. So exit this, apply the mirror, Control L to select this, and just shrink it out just slightly. Okay, that, as you can see, that gave me a slight gap between the pieces. that should be fine with that, which means I can work on getting this perfectly. Okay, the word I'm looking for, I'm trying to get these edges extruded back to the back of the cylinder, so it creates a face here on which the cylinder will sit in. As you can see, this is easier said than done. But it shouldn't be too hard to achieve. Now I'm going to scale this on the y-axis to make sure that I get a flat face here. I'm going to rotate it so it matches the shape of this. Now I can hide this since I have a framework to work, and I undid that. Didn't? No, I actually didn't. Sorry, my bad then. This should be a perfect entrance point. I'm going to bring this back, and there we go. Yeah, see, I actually like to fix this. I can't have it like this. As you can see, this is one of the major problems with doing something like this. You constantly have to be working with what you have. It's not exactly easy to get a replica of something you've seen. You can easily do something like this yourself if you are creating it, but if you are replicating it, yeah, that's a different story altogether. You can see what I'm doing here is I'm trying to create the shape of the cylinder without that being any overlap at all. I believe I have done just right here. So I'm going to select these. Oh, I actually wanted this selected. Right there. How many vertices are up there? Damn it, there's too many. There we go. This is what I need. Obviously, when you are doing this, you have to take some liberties when creating this thing, as we don't actually, well, since I haven't access to the Overwatch closed beta, I don't actually know what most of these things are going to look like. So bringing it back, that, and hiding that. There we go. This is the shape I want. Save this. This is done, so apply the mirror again, bring everything back, and now I have to replicate this design over to the other ones. Now this is going to be easy. The only thing I have to do, I'm going to have to cut this right here to make sure that it follows the shape of this one. So going in here, Ctrl L to select that one, making sure the cursor is at the center, pressing the period key, duplicating this and rotating it to the side. Yeah, this is actually just fine. Actually, no, what I'm going to do is something different. Mostly because it's hard to work on an angle like that. I'm going to rotate it by 100 and oops, come on. I actually misclick on that, rotate it by 180. By the center while you have the period key pressed. I am going to delete these vertices, these as well, and no, I'm going to keep those, and these actually start to angle much earlier, so I'm going to pull. Okay, I can press the comma key now to bring back my cursor. What I'm doing here, I'm creating this edge for some reason this one goes back further than this, but I'm not going to make this one different than those. It takes too much time. And I'm going to need to merge, close this face right here, so like this, closed, add a loop right here, go into mirror mode, deleting everything that doesn't that goes on the side that we're going to mirror it again. You can see one of the process I use is I use a lot of mirrors during this thing, and I actually messed that up. What I wanted to do is select this one, cursor always to the center, making sure you have the period key down, duplicate it and rotate it to the side, and repeat the process again. You now have all of the pieces necessary. Actually I don't, because I mess it up as it's supposed to go to over there. That's not a problem. So press the C key and select those vertices and pull them back. Yeah, that is fine. Once again, C key, select those. I don't want those. Select those, and bring them back just slightly. That makes a much more convincing shape. And repeat the process. Mirror to this, and there we go. Now all the decor pieces for the head of the hammer are done, and what I'm going to finish the head, all I'm going to need to do is add the contact back, the pretty much what you are going to hit with. I may end up actually pulling this slightly forward like this. As you can see, they go a bit further than what I have them going. This should be fine. Yeah, this is perfect. And that's pretty much going to be the end for the first part. This is actually going to be a multi-part process, as building this armor while commentating will take a longer time. Usually I will be able to compress this all into one video to make a giant time lapse, but this is going to be different. So I hope you enjoy this. Oh, again, if you want to see more of this, then subscribe to my channel. I pretty much do this in one of my episodes. I make papercraft models out of 3D rendered pictures. Again, subscribe to my channel, comment and write on this video, and thank you for watching.